it is what it is. Well, apparently they released a new weapon. And IGN is coming out here making an interesting claim. Splatoon 3's newest weapon is actively hurting the disabled community. Yeah. Since December 1st, visually and cognitively disabled players have encountered numerous barriers with a new weapon added to Splatoon 3.
Wait a minute. What is cognitively disabled? What is that?
I think
Isn't that colorblind?
I think so.
It's Dermy.
Colorblind.
Yeah. No, cognitively disabled, I think, is like kind of mentally handicapped.
All right, I'm looking this up.
Means, I think it's like
I mean cognitive reading, that kind of shit. I'm looking this up.
Somebody look it up because I thought that was covered under anything that deals with the head area. I thought that's what
I think it's,
like cognitive. I think is your brain being able to process. So I think it's people.
All right. A cognitive impairment, also known as an intellectual disability. Oh, so you're flat out retarded. Is a term used when a person has certain limitations in mental functioning and skills, such as communication, self-help, and social skills. So it just means you're fucking retarded. Okay, there we go.
I think it's like the neurodivergent people. It's the people that don't.
So retarded people are having a hard time playing Splatoon.
What I think. Listen, I saw what the weapon is. What I highly think it is.
Did it confuse you? Scare you?
No, it didn't. I think it's
aroused you.
People, but...
If it looked like a penis, he might have been aroused.
Ha!
Okay. The splatter color screen, available as part of the Chill Season 2023. Causes a player's screen to significantly brighten, removing all color, as well as experience a high-pitched ring for several seconds. While its intended purpose is to disorient those affected, its actual use is directly impacting disabled individuals, preventing some from playing the game altogether, and even causing major health issues like triggering seizures.
They have epilepsy warnings in the front of every fucking game now. They can fuck off.
Yeah.
Wait, okay, I'm a little confused.
Loud noises.
So pretty much a flashbang goes off in the game, essentially.
Yes.
So all the special needs kids that have been playing Call of Duty all these years, they didn't get affected by the flashbang, but now this one hurts them?
Well, they have a whole thing. So, here's the actual
I want to see the retarded kid flipping out. That's what I want to see.
I want too. But so here's what it is. And yes, it is essentially just a flashbang.
Because I'm like,
I'm a little bit confused too.
Because if it's a flashbang, special needs kids been playing Call of Duty for 20 years. So what are we doing? These people are full of it. I'm done. Okay. That's not a flashbang. That's nothing.
Because we're all stupid and retarded and can't play.
It's a wave of gayness. What the fuck? I get it if it was like it made a bunch of loud noises or something, because I do know that loud noises can trigger on them. But I mean, like, that's how I get rid of Dermy. I ring a bell and he just runs.
The Splatoon series famously relies on color as a core theme for its varying modes, covering maps with bright ink. This is something we already know. Seraphine D has enjoyed Splatoon since the first game, clocking in approximately 3,500 hours or 3,500 hours across 3 games. Despite their immense enjoyment of the series, they acknowledge Splatoon's overall accessibility can be bothersome. Mechanics like gyro aiming causes tendinitis flares, and while it's possible to use Joy-Cons to full play, the Splatoon community traditionally tends to look down on people who use sticks instead of gyro controls for what? No.
We have to change the entire game to fit how this small, fractionally tiny small as the pube on my ball sack.
Oh, no.
We have to do it for them.
Wait, no, but take note of what she said, okay? So because it uses mechanics like the gyroscope, but it's possible to use the Joy-Cons because the community tends to look down on people. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do the stuff that actually, is help that I do. I'm going to do the thing that everybody says you need to be doing. What? That's fucking retarded. They give you a way to actually play the game, but okay. But Serafina, I don't get notes. The occasional harassment from this gameplay method is nothing compared to the painful, disruptive, and dangerous effects brought on by the Splatoon screen, the splatter color screen. The color change and noise are not a concern to me, they said. It's the sudden cranking of brightness for a few seconds with no way to predict how bad it will be.
Okay, maybe they shouldn't be playing this in the dark.
Yeah,
play with lights on so you don't go into epileptic seizure.
I mean, this game is already very colorful and very bright.
They're full of shit because those epileptic seizures are brought on with flashing lights that are really bright and for a continuous amount. I didn't see any flashing lights that were continuous enough that it would actually trigger a seizure in somebody.
Let me tell you something about these. Almost said the N-word. Almost took this whole stream down. So look, these folks here, they're so bent on the idea of potentially hurting someone that they're just literally making up things. I didn't see anything that would affect anybody that's mentally having problems. And like that's why I mentioned earlier the color blindness. That's why I mentioned that earlier, because I know that somehow works with cognitive, because my brother's colorblind. So that fits into his whole thing. So when I'm seeing this nonsense, I'm hearing this foolishness, I'm like, yo, I know people that are on the spectrum. I know people of all different types of walks of life that play video games, that have colors and moving and all that stuff like that. I didn't see anything that would affect somebody of that caliber. If somebody of that caliber is playing this game, they shouldn't be. So the idea of making it inclusive for people that aren't supposed to be playing games with multiple colors flashing or anything of that nature, they're in violation. They have to go and make reevaluations for themselves in order for them to get around these things. Like, so it's not our responsibility. And granted, I'm not a Splatoon player, but it's not our responsibility as game players to now have to curtail to a minority of a minority of a minority that shouldn't even be playing the game to begin with. This is insanity.
Well, if somebody is that affected that something like that would trigger it, they shouldn't be playing any game. It's just too big of a risk. They have to live their life knowing what they can and can't do, and you don't play games if you get triggered that easily by flashes. You just stay off system.
This is no different than it was a race grifter from California.
You have to be more specific.
That's pretty much the entire state.
He's a lawyer.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
A legal?
No, he's a black lawyer. Anyways, I just remember this individual who he's a famous race grifter, whatever. He has a daughter who's a lawyer. They would go around California and actually purposely like fall in front of like stores and stuff and say that their things aren't ADA appropriate. There was these things going around all the time where like you had fake paraplegic individuals going around saying that these buildings are ADA appropriate. You have this whole system where people were ending up having to spend spend millions, and people were making millions because this constant thing of people having to bend over backwards to other individuals. You know, it's like fat people getting onto roller coasters that shouldn't be supporting them.
Nothing pisses me off more than fatties on roller coasters. Okay.
Hey.
Nothing. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, fatties. I'm sorry. You can't do this to yourselves. You can't do this to other people. You got to stop the madness. And then once again, Jeremy, you hit the nail on the head. Like, if you are 800 pounds, you should not be on a boxcar that's this big. It's reality. And the same thing for this situation. If you are a special needs person of this caliber, you should have somebody should be taking care of you. That's first and foremost. And your caretaker should not be having you engage in this type of behavior. That's going to ruin everybody else's good time. That's just the reality. That's the hand you were dealt. It's terrible. I'm sorry, but it's just not the way it's supposed to be.
With no no way to predict, as each map and ink combination is different. Even with color lock, it still varies and hurts. Wait, there's color lock? I don't even know what color lock is. It's disorienting.
Disorienting.
Yes, disorienting.
You
I
want
feel
me to
like
read?
that's not how I can read that. I feel like that's just not the right way to say that word, but okay.
You're disoriented. It's okay.
Yes, which I suppose was the goal, but pain very clearly wasn't their intention either. As its worst, my
Photosensitivity.
photosensitivity has given me
No, hang on,
what?
wait. Hemiplegic migraines.
I couldn't even get that name if I was sober, and has gone all the way to minor seizures, specifically generalized atonic seizures. What the fuck is
Hang
this?
on, I wasn't looking. Hang on, I wasn't looking. Where are you?
Generalized atonic seizures and
Highlight it
focal
because I can't see the blue.
I call bullshit.
Well, all right, what's an atonic seizure?
and focal impaired
I'm gonna have to
awareness
look that one
seizures.
up. I'm gonna look that one up.
What?
I don't know what an atonic seizure is.
It
Atonic
probably means
seizures.
you don't fully seize or
Okay.
something like you're, you know.
All right. Atonic seizures are a type of seizure that causes sudden loss of muscle strength. These seizures are also called akinetic seizures, drop attacks, or drop seizures. The sudden lack of muscle strength or tone can cause the person to fall to the ground. The person usually remains conscious and may not always fall down.
So
Alright,
so
focal-
it's like a minor seizure. You don't
And then
fully seize.
focal onset
Exactly.
impaired awareness seizure. What is a focal onset impaired awareness seizure? A focal onset seizure begins in one side of the brain. We used to call it, I don't really care. Focal, when the seizure begins in one side of the brain and the person has a change in their level of awareness during some or all of it, it is called. Wait, so what?
All right, go back to the article and let's read that sentence again.
Okay. At its worst, my photosensitivity has given me
Hemiplegic.
hemiplegic migraines and has gone all the way to minor seizures, specifically generalized atonic seizures and focal impaired awareness seizures.
So this person's claiming that the Splatoon attack is causing them to lose all muscle strength and whatever the other one was at the same time.
Sure it's not the soy they eat.
Kratos O'Grados brings up a good point over on the Rumble side. Who the hell cares? These are just full-time complainers that found a new thing to complain about. The reason why we're even talking about this is mainly just to laugh at them.
It's
This
bullshit.
sounds like total bullshit. Yeah.
Yeah, I call bullshit.
There's no way this really happened. Like I said, if you are so sensitive to photo whatever lights flashing and shit, if you're that sensitive, you wouldn't play video games. Because like I said, from what we saw in that clip, there are so many more games that have more flashing lights. Usually they actually put warnings, you know. If you're so photosensitive that you freaking get triggered by that, you shouldn't be playing any games. So I think this chick is just bullshit.
Yeah.
There I will say there might have been an actual thing going on, just because they said that they adjusted the colors a little bit and turned down the brightness. So maybe we didn't get a good view of it because maybe it did make your screen just too bright. I'm just playing devil's advocate here.
Stop playing my advocate.
The last thing I want to be playing is playing in a tournament with my team, and for them to hear a clunk over voice chat because I went limp over a special.
Limp.
Bullshit. If she was playing on a team, I'm assuming this is a chick with the screen name Serafina, her team would say, "Hey, yeah, guess what? You're not going to play today because you're having this."
Yeah,
they'd sub somebody else in.
how long?
They probably wouldn't let her play in the tournament
Yeah.
if she had these issues.
Yeah, there are probably rules against that shit because the tournament doesn't want to get sued.
Wait, is this another person? Do we have a second person that's coming out and saying this? Last time I got hit by it, I had to set the controller down and stop looking at the screen to avoid eye strain.
Maybe you shouldn't have been playing for 20 hours straight.
Not to mention, I think this person probably has flippers for feet. This is not this Who? Okay, all right. For those of us that's been around a while, all right. Well, it's been around a while. We used to play games for 20 hours straight with a 2 liter of Orange Crush and a Pizza Hut pizza. Okay.
Man, I was middle class. I had Sunkist.
You know, excuse me. You know, and well, some of us wear glasses now and all that other great stuff or whatever. But if you're sitting there and have the audacity to post about how you had to put your controller down because there was a color change, one, you have mental disabilities, and not in the way of what they're trying to describe to us. We're talking about somebody that's legit insultingly level of special needs that just wants to feel special. You're not special. If you have to put your controller down, put it down. Don't make it our problem because you can't look at the screen for 20 hours straight. Granted, I can't do that anymore. My eyes are old, but that's beside the point. But you're gonna sit there and make it everybody else's problem. Now, I don't play Splatoon, but I'm pretty sure these developers are freaking pissed by the idea behind this. That they worked hard on whatever item that was to make that flash bomb or whatever the case may be. And now they're going to be pressured in order to make that change, which costs a whole lot of man hours, not to mention costs, in order to make these changes. But these people don't give a crap.